you could say anything to someone that's watching, something that stood out for you in this journey, a nugget of wisdom, piece of advice, or just an introspection that you can summarize, what would that be?
You are enough. Whatever you're going through is only temporary. The relief that you seek, the pain that you feel now that weighs you down, you're only making the problem worse by adding to your addiction. I never woke up after a bender and thought, well, that was great, I feel much better. You know, that was the feeling I had in the moment. You deserve love, and you are accepted. You just have to find it. And I couldn't find it in the drugs, and I couldn't find it in the late nights, and I couldn't find it in the losing myself. It's incredibly ironic looking back, thinking that I had one day hoped to find myself, but I never wanted to spend time with myself. That was something that was incredibly difficult for me to do, was to spend time with myself. And that's different to by myself. The use of language to convey what you're thinking is important to me. So I specifically say with myself. It's so hard to go through difficulties alone. Drugs were, in the beginning, purely for enjoyment and discovery and curiosity. And then they became an everyday dependence for me. Because that's all I knew. And that is what I fell into for safety and security. My addiction was, relatively speaking, I'm only 26 years old. But at the age of 23, I'd spent 7 years in it. So it was almost a third of my life. So I'd gone through that for a long time. And at such a crucial point in your life where you are forming your identity. My identity was coupled with drugs. I think the most important thing that I've realized is that I don't know if I'm going to be okay. But I know that now the most important thing that I have to do is work towards being okay now. There's a book in recovery called Just for Today. And every day it gives you a reading passage and it deals with an issue and it promotes acceptance and you then relying on the program to help you through it. But what was important for me, the most important thing was just for today. Dealing with the now. And that wasn't about, well, now is the only thing I can deal with. I've heard that time and time again, that the past is left with the past, and the present is what we can deal with. In the future, we have only uncertainty. But for me, it was that the present required me to be present. It required me to experience, to not numb it out, to not run away. I spent a large part of my life being a coward. And that's what addiction was for me. And I would never dare say to anyone that their addiction is cowardice. I can only speak for me. But now that I am present, I'm very extreme. I haven't taken a Panado. I've had major surgeries and not had any pain relief. And it's not for a moment that I believe that if we were to crack open a beer and have a braai, that the next day I would drink again, or that my addiction would resurface. That's always there. What that was for me was a promise. A promise to myself that had to be the most important thing. I promised myself that if I couldn't keep, then I didn't value myself. And it would be the last attempt that I had at giving myself a chance, at being enough for me. This process of being enough for everybody else and holding yourself to their standards and their expectations is so ancillary to the person that you wake up in the morning as and the person that takes you to bed. Being able to lay your head on a pillow and say that I'm enough, that holds the nightmares about it. What I have spent 3 years now learning is that what I do, what I give, what I feel, I can only appreciate with sober senses in mind. And we all make mistakes. We all go through difficulties and challenges, and being a part of this project and hearing how people have gone through real tragedies, personal tragedies, and overcome that. It's something I'd wish I'd known before I found it in drugs, because I didn't believe then that I could do it sober. I didn't believe that there was an opportunity for me to overcome any obstacle without that relief, without that distraction, because I didn't think that I could do it. So if I'm not going to do it, then I'm not going to be me, because me is not good enough. That's all I've ever wanted to be, was enough. And I think I'm getting there. I think I'm slowly but surely getting to a point where I like myself. And I'm happy with who I am now. I don't know who I'm going to be. I don't know if I'm going to be okay. But today I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do everything I can to put a smile on someone's face and then have a smile on mine. And when I face difficulty, to appreciate for what it is, temporary. There is no permanence to your pain. Pain is profound. Pain impresses itself upon you to the deepest of your core. But it's only temporary. Wounds will always heal. And I don't think it's through time. I don't believe that time in and of itself is what allows things to heal. I think it's patience that then grows into acceptance. Appreciating a scar for what it is just now a scar. Before it was an open, bloody wound. It's healed, it's closed. But you had to wait for that to happen, but continuously accept that it was going to happen. It's difficult being who I am because of the addiction. I wish that I'd got to this point without having to go through that. I don't know if I would have though. I don't know if I'd be this person. I've spent the past week thinking a lot about fingerprints. I have no idea why we have them. Biologically, what reason do our cells have for forming fingerprints? And the only answer that I can come to in appreciating that somehow 7 billion people around the world all have different fingerprints, they're all unique, is because we imprint each other. We leave our marks, and we can record every touch that we've made on someone's life. And I'm covered in scars, but I'm covered in fingerprints too. And the hands of those that have touched me and helped me and told me that I'm enough, I feel them every day, and I see them in the mirror. And that stupid mantra that Mark made me promise to tell myself in the morning when I look in the mirror and say that you are beautiful, and you are enough, and you are loved. I only see that because I see the scars and I see the fingerprints. I'm so thankful. And I'm scared and I'm excited. But I'm here on all accounts when I shouldn't have been. So I'm just going to be present in the present.
Justin, thank you so much. You are enough. And you will continue to be enough.
Right, man. Give us a hug there, Charles.